Hi, welcome to day 2 of the Conscious Co-Creation Challenge. I'm Tracy Goody, your Practical Ascension Guide. So on day 1, we started to connect into the energy and the emotion of that which you want to co-create and want to manifest. Today we're moving into trust and expectations. And tomorrow we're going to start to put it all together and look at the steps of co-creation. So for trust and expectations, there's 4 different things that I wanted to get across in this video today. So the first one is that there's a lot of variables here with trust and expectation because we all have our own programming, we all have our own subconscious beliefs based on what's happened to us in the past, based on what's happened ancestrally in our DNA that we're carrying forward with us as well, and even based in past lives if that's something that you're believing in. So there's a lot of variables for trust and expectation before we even get started. So the first thing I want to say about it is that it's part of your responsibility and something that's under your control to align your energy of trust and expectation with what your higher being already believes. So what I mean by that is this larger, like the non-physical part of yourself, your soul, that is always connected to source. That is always connected to everything you need, always connected into trust, always this kind of unconditional love energy. You yourself here in this physical form with the ego and the subconscious mind and everything kind of working together, you want to be in agreement with the non-physical part, which agrees that yes, trust is a good thing. So anything that doesn't agree with that, anything that creates this separation or this feeling of distrust, that you can't trust, and that there's something that makes you want to expect that things are not going to turn out in your favor. You want to look at that programming that you have, and everybody is completely unique, and you want to adjust that. You have the power to do that. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is adjusting your beliefs so that you do trust everything is going to work out in your favor, and that you do expect things are going to work out highest and best for you, even if you don't know the whole picture. And I'm going to get to that a little tiny bit more whenever we're talking about expectations. Okay, so the 2 things that I recommend for this, and use whatever is your go-to. If you have a go-to for mindset for changing subconscious programs, go with that. I always recommend using either EFT Tapping, and I recommend these things because they're free and anybody can do them. So EFT Tapping. So the way that I would recommend using this is, so if you're not familiar with EFT, just go do a little bit of research on that, and it just helps you to clear out subconscious programming and things that you're holding on to. So the first thing I would do is start doing some EFT tapping. Even though I don't fully trust that this is going to happen for me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you set yourself up there, and then you're starting to ask, I can't trust that this is going to happen because I can't allow myself to trust because, and you want to give yourself time and really just breathe into those questions and see what comes up for you. Because whenever you're doing EFT tapping, you're tapping into the subconscious. So you get to pull up these subconscious beliefs that's actually creating resistance between you and this higher version of yourself. So like you guys don't totally agree that it's safe to trust. So whenever you align these subconscious belief programs through doing something like EFT tapping, you pull up what you're actually subconsciously believing and you let it go. And then the other part of that is that you want to reprogram with something that's more empowering. So after you've gone through and you've said, I can't trust because, I can't trust because, I can't trust because, allowing those things to come up, releasing that energy. And then you want to take a look at what is the actual truth. So what does my higher self, what does my soul actually believe about trust, actually believe about if this is going to come to fruition for me? And then you want to tune in, breathe in your heart, and listen there. It is safe for me to trust because. So you're pulling up the empowering beliefs and kind of proving why your new empowered belief system is the actual truth. So still with that EFT tapping, it is safe for me to trust because, and then you're connecting to that higher self rationale, I guess, right? Okay, so EFT tapping is one way you can do that. Another is just doing some like column journaling. So tons of coaches will recommend this, and it's a very common kind of exercise. But you're just looking in, say, column A, you have a list of all of the reasons why it is not safe to trust, why you don't trust this is going to work out in your favor. And that you're just streaming what is coming up in your mind, what's coming up in your subconscious. There's nothing wrong with having limiting programs and beliefs. We all have them. We all live in the same world where there's societal information, there's family information, there's information that's already in your DNA, let alone what has begun at the start of your life, right? From what you've absorbed. So that's totally normal. So first column, anything that's a reason why you can't trust, right? And then the second column, you're starting to disprove it. So say you said, I can't trust because this did not work out for me in the past. Then you want to disprove it over here. So it is safe for me to trust because I have been doing mindset work, because I have been aligning myself to match the vibration of that which I desire, because I have been taking consistent actions. So you're disproving what's going on there, and that's going to help to reprogram your subconscious so that you are allowing yourself to trust. Okay, so that's the very first thing that I wanted to mention, is there is a ton of variables around false programming. So have patience with yourself and do work through that process if you find that trust and expectation is an area of resistance for you. Number 2, you can only really get the most out of trust and expectation when you're in the present moment. So if you are feeling anxiety or you're feeling any type of kind of hesitation around what you want to bring into what you want to co-create, the first question you want to ask yourself, and I would say to even ask this question before doing that mindset work, before doing that limiting programming work I just talked about, is to ask yourself, am I focused in the present moment? Am I centered in my body? Where is this anxiety or discomfort coming from? Is it coming from the past? Is it because maybe I learned in the past? So say, for example, your co-creation was, I'm just going to use kind of the general term of business success. We can pretend that it's a little bit more specific than that. General term of business success. So maybe selling at a program. So maybe you're pulling your expectations from last time you tried to sell a program and it didn't work. So that's creating anxiety. So am I fully present here, or am I pulling that from the past? So you want to ask, because you're just creating from this present moment space. You're not creating from the past unless you're choosing to, right? So you're choosing to consciously co-create. That means creating from the present moment. So asking, is this anxiety, this discomfort I feel coming from the past? Or is it something that I'm kind of projecting into the future that I think might happen, right? My fears and doubts that might happen in the future. Coming back to present. And you can actually work out quite a bit of mindset stuff just by coming into the present moment. That's where your power of trust and expectation really lies, in the present moment. Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted to share on that. I felt like there was a little bit more, and there kind of is, but whenever I start to get into trust and expectation, it opens up the subject of intuition too. And should I be taking action? Should I not be taking action? And we are going to cover that later on in the week as well in more detail. So for now, I'm just going to kind of leave that. I'm just going to say one super quick thing about intuition. Whenever you are receiving intuitive guidance, it feels like support. It feels like love. Even if you feel a little nervous to take action on it, you feel excited to take action on it, it feels like support. It feels like you are connected. Whenever you're receiving information from a place of anxiety and fear, maybe telling you, oh, this wasn't the right programming, or this wasn't the right time, or, nobody's going to buy because it sucks, or something like that, right? Whenever you're receiving information like that, and it feels like fear, or feels like doubt, or feels like anxiety, that's not coming from your intuition. That's coming from your mind. That's coming from your subconscious and your conscious mind. So just a real quick note there on that. All right, so number 3, third thing I want to talk about. So first is that there's a ton of variables. So just understand that you may have some work to do around working through subconscious program. Number 2, make sure that you are focused in the present if you start to feel kind of these anxieties and worries coming up. Number 3 is your responsibility and control. So as in, what do you actually have control over, and what are you actually responsible for? And what things are you trying too hard to control and too hard to be responsible for that's actually creating resistance for you? So what you are responsible for, what you can control, is yourself. It is your vibration, it is your response, it is your actions, it's how you take care of yourself, it's how you work on your mindset, it's your thoughts. All of those things, that is what you're responsible for. That is what is within your control, okay? This is almost leaning a little bit more towards control than responsibility too. So I want to clarify that, because when we're talking about responsibility, again, everybody's different. Everybody has a different life. So some of us have, kids and maybe aging parents and different things that we may actually be responsible for. So I guess let's look at this in, on the lens of control, right? So those are the things that you do have control over. And those are the things that it's healthy to want to take action on and to want to control. Now, the things that you can't control. And this is what really causes us the discomfort. Things that you can't control. Other people, their perception of you, their actions, pretty well any circumstance and any situation, right? Now, you do have the control of your own thoughts and your own vibration, and so what you draw into your life. But in terms of the actual circumstance and the situation of how things play out, that is outside of your control. So whenever you're able to let go of the control around that, but still expect that things are going to turn out highest and best for you, that's kind of like the sweet spot. You don't want to be trying to hold on to control so much, well, people need to perceive me this way, or it needs to work out like this, this, and this, because then you're trying to control the exact circumstance and the exact situation, which the energy of control in itself is restrictive. So the more energy of trust, which trust is the opposite of control in my mind, whenever we're in the energy of trust, we are allowing, we are receiving, we are magnetic to what we want. But whenever we're in the energy of trying to control and wanting to control, we're repelling it, and we're creating kind of like this tight squeeze where things can't flow and we can't receive as easily. So just remembering even that it's not your responsibility and it's not something that's under your control can already help to just put some more ease into your body and release some of that tension. Another thing I like to do, and this is an Abraham Hicks exercise, but it's doing a to-do list for you and then a to-do list for the universe. And this is a great way to separate it in your conscious mind, to kind of get your conscious logical mind on board that, okay, this is what I am responsible for. This is what's under my control. And these are the things that I'm not. So you're saying, okay, these are the things that I'm going to do today. Maybe I'm going to work on my mindset. I'm going to work on this program. I'm going to, the things that you're going to do. And here's the universal to-do list of things that are not under your control. So things that you're giving over to the universe, giving over to source, giving over to God to handle for you. So that is making sure my message reaches the right people, allowing me to make an impact, helping me to ensure that I am present and I am grounded, making sure that everything is working out in my favor, bringing all of the opportunities and people to me that's going to help to bring this to fruition. So all of those things that are outside of your control, magnetizing soul clients to me, that's, again, the mindset and the vibration of that is you, but how they actually get to you, that's not under your control and that's not your responsibility. So you ship that off to the universe, you ship that over to your guides, and you just focus on what you are responsible for. So it's just kind of like almost another version of staying in your own lane. So you are not, focused on what everybody else is doing in business so that you can figure out business success. You focus within and you tune within and you pay attention to what's going on in your business community, within your energy field, within the energy of your business. You focus on that. You're not focused on everybody else's business, because you can't get forward motion that way if you're focused on some things that are outside of your control that are not your responsibility. So it's that same type of energy. All right, so universal to-do list really helps with that energy of surrender and trust. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, last thing I want to talk about on this video today is your expectations and your attachment to outcome. So expectations and attachment to outcome are 2 very different things. So whenever, just kind of feel into the difference of this for you. So think about your intention, think about what you want to bring to fruition, and focus the energy of, I need this to happen. I need this to happen. I need this to happen. It's likely constrictive, right? You can almost feel the energetic resistance around that. You might feel a tightening, you might feel an anxiety. That's a need for control, right? That's the energy of control, and that's the attachment to a specific outcome. And you'll see this play out a whole lot whenever, especially when people are, say, launching a program, and maybe they don't have much else running right now for income. So they're putting everything into the launch of this program, and they have so much connection to desired outcome that it creates this resistance and this anxiety that actually repels clients from them and makes their energy less magnetic than it could be. So then you can see the exact opposite of that. Whenever, say, somebody already has a lot of cash rolling in and they don't have a lot of attachment to a program they're launching, they are likely to see better results than the person that had all of that need to make it happen. So the energetic vibration of, I need this to happen, I need this to happen, feel where that is. It's almost like this kind of desperation, pre-disappointment energy. Whereas opposed to that, if you're like, so just tune into this one for a second, thinking about your intention, thinking about what you want to bring to fruition, and asking, wouldn't it be amazing if this worked out in my favor? Wouldn't it be amazing if everything I needed for this just showed up for me? Wouldn't it be amazing if this exceeded my expectations? So you don't have to even jump all the way into, I fully trust 100% this is going to happen. You're just kind of moving over into, wouldn't it be amazing if this did happen? So you're moving from that tight control energy into that open, playful child energy of, oh my God, this would be so much fun. So you're pulling the joy and the excitement and the fun energy into it, and that opens up your energy for receiving and for being magnetic. So you feel the difference, right? You can feel whenever it's a need, an attachment to outcome, and whenever it's a positive expectation of, oh my goodness, this could be so amazing. So trusting and expectation really are a practice. So it's just kind of a part of mindfulness and a part of paying attention to what your vibration is at by noticing how it feels. So saying, okay, hey, I know whenever my body feels kind of this anxiety or like I have to rush, or when these thoughts start to come to me, that means I need to come back into the present moment, and I need to say, am I trying to control something that's outside of my control? And if I am, can I let it go? And what is within my control? What can I take action on now? And then wouldn't that be amazing if all of the parts and pieces of this came together for me? Let me write a to-do list. Let me write a to-do list for myself and for the universe, and fully trust that that is going to work out in my favor. All right, so your action steps for today are to check in with yourself, see how you're feeling about trust and expectation for your intention, and if there is some release work that will be beneficial for you to do there, or if you're feeling really good about it, then amp it up. Wouldn't it be amazing if? Wouldn't it be amazing if? Allow yourself that joy and that creativity energy, and that opens up your receiving portals. Amazing. All right, so thank you so much. Tomorrow we're talking about the kind of the flow of co-creation and kind of all the parts and pieces that you need for that. So I so look forward to that, and I thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you later.